Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Pam's Doing It Again. For those who are new, welcome. And welcome back to all of my loyal subscribers. Today, before I start this video, I wanted to give you guys an update about my shoulder and tell y'all a little story about what happened to my shoulder that led up to what's going on now with it. This is an old injury. This happened like a lot of years ago. This happened about 4 or 5 years ago, actually. I was doing in-home care. So, I go to my client house and stuff like that. I didn't work on the weekends. I always worked during the weekday. So, I'm going to my client house this Monday morning. So, I'm looking around at the house, and I was like, well, what happened to the house? Did you have a party? He was like, no, I ain't have a party. I said, well, I smell fried chicken, fried this, fried that, knowing that he was not supposed to eat fried food, okay? Every time I took his sugar, his blood sugar level was always high. And I was like, this is strange. Like all week long when I'm watching watching my client, his blood sugar is just fine. Every time after the weekend I come back on a Monday, it's like really elevated. And so I was like, I smell fried chicken. The house is a mess. I even see the mice run across the floor. I was like, I cannot work in these conditions. What is going on? So he went in his room as usual. He got in the bed. And mind you, was about 300 and something pounds. About 300 something pounds. So I'm looking around in the bedroom. I'm smelling all kinds of food, right? So I'm saying, well, have you been eating? I smell food, but I don't see any plates or anything. Because he's not allowed, like I said, no fried foods or no snacks and stuff like that. So I guess like when his family come over on the weekend, they, cook him all kinds of food and making sure he eating stuff like that. But it's all the wrong stuff. So anyway, I'm in his room and I'm talking with him. And so, he's going back and forth with me, even pleading the fifth about he wasn't eating no wrong food. He told me, he went so far to say, well, my window open, maybe the neighbors next door cooking and you smell that food blowing up in here. I'm like, really? Anyway, so I'm leaving him talk. He's still talking, so I'm going out in the kitchen area to get the broom and the dustpan and stuff like that, so I could clean up because I can't do no work under these conditions. My job was to take his vitals, make sure he take his medicine, to bathe him, wash him, help him get himself together and stuff like that, and to make sure he eats. So I wanted to clean up before I get everything started. So I go get the broom and the dustpan and stuff like that. So I'm in his bedroom now. So, I'm seeing the mice run underneath the bed right now. I was like, well, this is the second mice I didn't see since I've been in here. And I ain't been in here like even 20 minutes. And I'm seeing these mice and everything running around. So me getting down on my knees, getting the broom, and I'm sweeping underneath, trying to sweep up underneath the bed. So the broom gets stuck. So I take the bottom part of his comforter and flip it over. Guess what I found? I find a plate with chicken bones and chicken on it. I find pizza boxes. I find tasty cake boxes, even pie boxes with half-eaten pie, chips, candy, beverages of all kinds underneath this bed. Mind you, the bed is solid. It's like a king-size bed, so I it was nice and steady, so I ain't, think no more of nothing. So I'm underneath this, steady cleaning, bringing it out, right? So I'm saying to myself, dang, I gotta write a report on all of this, because every time I, work, I, had to make a report, and stuff like that. So I'm bringing all this stuff from underneath the bed. So I go to look up. He rolls off the bed onto me, and my shoulder went back like that, like my shoulder went out of alignment, whatever. I don't know what you call it. It went out, it went back. So I went to jerk it up front, like just to try to jerk it to get it back in place. So, me thinking that, okay, well, it's back in place and stuff. But it was hurting so bad, so I called my supervisor. And she sent a couple of people out. So when they got there, they said that I should go to the hospital and get it checked out and stuff like that, So I'm going to the hospital. They doing x-rays and taking x-rays and doing all types of things on my shoulder. So the doctor came back in the room. So he said, your shoulder is fractured. I said, I fractured my shoulder. So they wanted to keep me overnight in the hospital to run some more tests and stuff like that, because every time I tried to move that arm, it would not move. And so they didn't want me to get like a, what they call it, like a I don't know, it's like a, they call it the frozen shoulder. So he said that we're going to have to send you to like physical therapy and stuff like that, so you can get your range of motion back in that arm. Because my right arm and my, you know, this is my dominant hand. This is the hand that I do everything, my signature, do everything with. So without this arm and this hand, you know, I won't be able to work. So, you know, after that, you know, I started physical therapy and stuff like that. So it seemed to be working, and I was all happy. I was glad. So, you know, they gave me like 2 weeks off. So, you know, everything started feeling better. It wasn't 100, but it was feeling better. I wanted to go back to work because I need to make my money, and I got bills that need to get paid. So I goes back to work, and I stay at that job for a little while longer. But then I left that job like in 2015. And I started the new job, you know, the job that I'm doing now. I started this job. So when I started my old YouTube channel, Pam's 27 on the go, those who know me from that channel know that I used to always take you guys to work with me. So I work for a real estate cleaning company, and I used to, you know, we get the houses and stuff together for sale, or even some of the units for rent. And so that's the type of work that I do now. So a couple of months ago, I noticed my shoulder was like bothering me. And I was like, oh my God, please, no, not my shoulder. So I made an appointment to go to the doctor and stuff like that. So he came out, and his face didn't look too good. He said, I wanted to tell you that your shoulder doesn't look like it's getting any better. It looks like it's been broken, and now you got what they call it, rheumatoid arthritis that's set up in the joint part of my shoulder. And he was saying that it looks like that my rotor cuff and ball needs to be replaced. And so he said we had to give you like a robotic shoulder. So then, you know, I'm like, that's a lot for me to think about. But he said first you need to go get some testing. They wanted me to get a stress test to make sure that my heart was able to withstand, you know, the surgery. So I got that done, and I passed that. Then to go further, I had to go to it's the CAP lab, so they could get a closer look at my arteries to make sure there wasn't no blockages or anything in there. So I heard one of the doctors say her arteries look beautiful to be her age. The arteries look, you know, beautiful. Well, nevertheless, I still need surgery. So I'm thinking about getting my shoulder at the end of this year or sometime the beginning of 2022. Okay, so, you know, but for the time being, I'm taking the cortisone shots that they gave me, and so I'm not due for another one to the end of this year. Another cortisone shot. So he said that's not working for me, and through the shot, if I'm still feeling like a lot of pain and stuff like that, I need to go on and get the surgery, because I'm not the type of person, I don't like to be taking nobody's pills. I'm not trying to get hooked on a lot of medicines. I'm not trying to do none of that. The only thing I take now is I do have high blood pressure. I take a high blood pressure pill, and I do take my multivitamins and things like that. So, you know, it's been really hard trying to deal with this shoulder. That's why I haven't been in like a lot of my videos, because of the pain. But I was still able to go shopping. I'm still able to film. I'm trying to get many videos out as possible, because I know once I get that surgery, your girl going to be out of commission. I ain't going to feel like filming. So this is why I'm doing my filming and stuff now. So okay, y'all. So that's what happened to my shoulder.